the city skyline glittered under the blanket of ambition. Its glass towers stretched into the night, standing tall like silent guardians of power. Inside the loftiest of these towers, a woman sat behind her desk, poised, composed, and every bit the formidable CEO she was known to be. Her reputation preceded her: razor-sharp intellect, flawless precision in every deal, and an uncanny gift for reading people. But tonight, her confidence carried a different shade. Across the table from her sat an opponent, unlike any she had ever faced. Between them rested a chessboard, its pieces waiting in stillness, like soldiers ready for war. The reflection of the glittering city lights shimmered in the glass behind them as if the whole world held its breath. "Beat me in chess, and I'll marry you," she had said, her tone a mix of challenge and something softer, unspoken. It wasn't just a game. It was the beginning of something neither of them could yet define. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of unexpected connections to change lives, take a moment to like this video, share it with someone who loves heartfelt stories, and subscribe to Stories of Kindness, so you never miss a tale that touches the soul. He wasn't the kind of man who usually found himself in a CEO's private office high above the city. A single father, his world revolved around his little girl and the modest cleaning job that kept their lives afloat. His hands bore the marks of years of labor. His clothes were plain, but his eyes, they held quiet strength, the kind born not of privilege, but of perseverance. He hadn't expected the invitation. It had all started innocently. A spilled coffee, a sincere apology, a short conversation that somehow led to him fixing a jammed window in her office. That night, she noticed something unusual. His calm, his patience. Then she noticed the small travel chest set tucked in his bag. A relic of another life, perhaps. That's when curiosity struck. For her, the challenge was amusement. For him, it became something more profound. She had everything: success, wealth, control. And yet victory had begun to taste hollow. This game, this man, was a reminder of something real. It wasn't truly about marriage. It was about dignity. About proving that a man from humble beginnings could hold his own before someone who ruled empires. As they faced each other, the world around them faded. All that remained was the click of chess pieces and the rhythm of two hearts learning each other's stories without words. Every move he made carried the weight of his past. The nights he'd gone hungry so his daughter could eat, the long walks through the rain, because the bus fare was too much. The pride he'd swallowed to keep a roof over their heads. She couldn't fully imagine that life, yet she could feel it. In his patience, in his steady focus, in his refusal to give up. Every piece he touched seemed to tell a story of endurance. And though she hid her own battles behind luxury, her loneliness whispered through the silence. Success had never filled the emptiness she carried. Maybe that's why she challenged him. To be surprised, to be seen, to feel alive again. As the game unfolded, her confident smirk slowly vanished. Not because she was losing, but because she was seeing him. Really seeing him. For the first time. Outside, the city glowed like a dream. Inside, the tension deepened. Pawns moved with intent. Knights leapt with purpose. Bishops sliced through the board like silent blades. He played with quiet precision. Patient, calm, unafraid. And then, in 3 breathtaking moves, it was over. Checkmate. Her eyes widened, not with humiliation, but admiration. No one had ever beaten her so swiftly, and certainly not a man she had once overlooked. For a heartbeat, the room fell silent. Then she smiled. A soft, genuine smile. She realized the game was never about winning or losing. It was about the truth she had glimpsed in him. The resilience, humility, and quiet strength that no title or fortune could buy. Days passed. Then weeks. She found reasons to call him back. Not for another game, but for conversation. They talked about life, about his daughter, about the courage it took to start fresh each morning. He never bragged, never asked for anything. And slowly, his humility chipped away the walls around her heart. What began as a playful challenge grew into a connection. Steady, genuine, undeniable. She began to crave his honesty in a world of masks. And he, cautious but open, began to see her not as a CEO, but as a woman searching for meaning beyond wealth and power. In the quiet gestures, the way she listened, the way he brought her coffee when she was tired, something real began to bloom. But not everyone approved. Her friends whispered. Her board doubted her. They said she was reckless, foolish. A CEO shouldn't fall for a janitor. The pressure mounted. She began to question herself. But every time she looked at him, she remembered the strength she'd seen that first night. Not in his victory, but in his heart. He had no riches to offer, but he gave her something far rarer. Loyalty, honesty, and a love that asked for nothing. Then came the storm. A business crisis threatened to destroy everything she'd built. Partners withdrew. Advisors panicked. And through it all he stayed. He stood by her side when everyone else walked away, reminding her that she was more than her company. That her worth was not tied to her success. In that moment, she understood. That chess game had been more than a challenge. It was a glimpse into the kind of partnership she truly needed. One built not on deals, but on trust. When the storm finally passed, she made her decision. The promise she had once made in jest became something she now meant with all her heart. Not because he had beaten her in 3 moves, but because he had stood by her through every loss, every doubt, every fear. Their lives weren't perfect. The world still judged. The struggles remained. But their bond, built on kindness, courage, and love, stood firm. A connection born from a simple game became a story that redefined them both. If this story moved your heart, like this video, share it with someone who believes in hope, and subscribe to Stories of Kinness for more tales that remind us of the beauty of compassion and resilience. Before you go, we'd love to hear from you. Comment below. What's the most unexpected act of kindness you've ever witnessed? Your story might be the light someone needs today.